Hey there, my name's Drew Brashler, and in this video, I'm wanting to do a deep dive on SoundBase and how I coordinate my wireless for an upcoming larger show. Now, if you're brand new to my channel, I'm all about helping you feel more confident with your production gear no matter where you're starting from. Also, if you are a newer audio engineer or just wanted to have some more tips and tricks in your tool belt, head over to audiotoolkit.co, where I have a weekly newsletter for free that will give you some of my favorite tips and tricks of my tool belt into your inbox every week. So if you want to check out more about that, the link is down in the description below. But let's go ahead and actually open up SoundBase and start a new coordination for, say, a larger show that I have coming up. So we have SoundBase here. Now, I am using the pro version of the account, but you can do everything that I'm doing today on the free version. It's just you would have to do it on SoundBase's website online. So I can do this on SoundBase Pro offline. So I'm able to have this installed on my computer and be able to open up a project and create it from scratch without having an internet connection, which is most of the time in convention centers, or if I'm flying on a plane that maybe has the Wi-Fi turned off or broken on that trip, which is a bummer a lot of the time. But let's go ahead and actually start a new project here. So when we open it up, we can see our recent projects or anything that we have going on. We can also tab over into our archived spot as well. But I'm going to go and press new right here, and we are going to start typing this. So this is going to be an upcoming project, and I am just going to call it upcoming project. Now, as far as the location goes, we can actually pull up the location of where your show is going to be. So in this case, this is going to be at the Gaylord National Resort Convention Center in Maryland. And we're going to have this start on March 3rd, and it's going to go until March 7th. And once we have this set here, I'm going to go ahead and press coordinate. Now, when you open up a new project like this, it comes up blank, like we can see here on the screen. Now, if we go and look at the bottom, this shows us all of our TV channels that are happening in the area. So we can see that this is blocked out for the radio astronomy section, as well as these two that are red, these are blocked out for public service. And then we can also see the blue is where we actually have some TV channels that are broadcasting in the area locally. Now, if we want to see more detail about this, we can go up to TV channels, and then it will actually show us what's going on here. So we can see that these are public safety, and we can go down, and this one is gray everywhere because it's for the radio astronomy telescopes. And so, but we can see that we have all of these black areas that currently don't have broadcasting TV stations, at least according to the FCC. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our coordination, and I am going to go ahead and add all of my wireless that I have coming up for this show. So over on the right-hand side, we can go ahead and click this. We can go to profile type, and we can select from any of our custom profiles or the profiles that SoundBase has available. So I'm just going to keep this on all. And then when we go to manufacturer, this is where we choose what our devices are. So in this case, I have 24 Shure Axient in the G57 Plus band. So what I'm going to do is go down to Shure. I'm then going to go find the model that I have, which is the 84Q in the A. And then my band that I have is G57 Plus. Now, I also have the ability of going with an HD, which is a high density mode if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and press G57 Plus here, and we can then choose our profile. So there are three types of profiles that we can select from: robust, standard, and more frequencies. And the main difference between these is actually right here in front of us. So we can see that robust gives us a 0.350 megahertz channel spacing between other channels. And then we can also see down here that the intermodulation products is third IMD, which is right here, which is a third order IMD. And so this is giving us a little bit of space in between those third order intermodulation products. So in the case of starting a brand new coordination, I am either going to choose between standard, or if I know that I need to pack a lot of frequencies in a smaller section of space, then I'm going to go ahead and choose more frequencies. So in this case, because I have 24 wireless and I'm not wanting to run them in HD mode because that takes up a little bit more power and locks you into only using low power on the RF power side of the Axion, I'm going to go ahead and just choose more frequencies and leave this on G57 Plus for our profile. Now, once I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and add an untested quantity. This is the way that I choose to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and go untested, and I'm going to type in 24. And what that's going to do is that's going to go ahead and add my 24 frequencies here on the left. So we can see that 24 frequencies are added for my 84Q, which is my Axient that I'm going to be using for this show. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is once I have added all of my wireless, in which case I need to add a PSM 1000s here because I have 2 of them. So they are in the G10 band. And I'm going to leave this on standard for now, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in 2 untested frequencies. And so we can now see that we have our PSM 1000s. Now, if we wanted to, I could go ahead and start labeling these right now. So IEM 01, IEM 02. But I'm going to go ahead and leave these for now. The next thing that I'm going to do, and hopefully I still have internet at this point because I've opened this up, I'm sitting on the plane, and I still have my mobile hotspot going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click up in scan data. Now, this then looks at all of the scans that other SoundBase users have done in that area, and it will put it by distance from your location. It'll also show you when the scan was last taken. So we can go ahead and pull up any of these for our frequency. And so if I go ahead and select this, I can see that here we have a scan between 470 and all the way up to 608, which is exactly what I'm going for. And we can see that it was from a Wizicom, and there is the model number. It was a directional antenna, so I might want to go choose one that is a omnidirectional antenna. But this is looking pretty accurate. And so one thing that I'll end up doing is I will go and look at the results and see if all of the rest of the results are similar. I'll also go and look at the date. So this was done in March 16th of 2024. Right now it is in February of 2025. So I might go and choose a different one. So instead of sorting by distance, I might go and sort by date. And so if I do date descending, then this will show a recent scan here. So we can see February 18th, 25. And I'm not going to go with this scan because it's not really showing all of the stuff in this area. And so let's go pull up a different one. And here we go, Tiny SA. Okay, so this Tiny SA is very similar to the rest of them that I've seen, but I can see that there are some transmitters turned on, and it does look like transmitters might be turned on. So I'm going to go and look at others to make sure that I am happy with the scan. That also has some transmitters, yep, inside. So it does look like I'm just going to go ahead and select this one because this does look accurate to the rest of them. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and copy this to the project. So once I'm happy with the scan that looks like the rest of them, that does not have any transmitters turned on, I'm going to go ahead and copy this to the project. And then what that will do is we can hop back over into coordination, and we can now see a scan that was done, and it matches with the rest of the TV channels. And so we can see that there is a TV channel that's transmitting here on channel 20. So if I wanted to, what I could do is just go ahead and click on the 20, and that will then block out this TV channel from any transmitters being placed on that in the coordination. So once I have that set, I can go ahead and press select all, and I can go ahead and go recalculate selected. And so here are all of my models that I'm going to be recalculating. So we can see Shure 84Q, which is my Axient on the more frequencies profile, and then Shure PSM 1000s in the standard profile. Now, once I have this, I can go ahead and just press recalculate, and it will go ahead and place all of my channels, and we can see that all of them are spaced out throughout the band plan. Now, if I have Axient, I'm wanting to jam pack all of them into a smaller section of frequencies as I can. Now, the benefit of doing this is that I am pushing all of the frequencies to be in one spot in the band, which will then allow me to place other frequencies that maybe come in last minute on the rest of our frequency spectrum that we have available to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a band plan to try and put as many of my channels between my channel 30 and my channel 38 up here. Because I have the G57 Plus of the Axient, I'm able to get my transmitters and put them up in this section that's right here in this little band gap. So I'm going to go and create a new band plan, and we are going to go by TV channel. So we can go ahead and type this as Axient. And let's go ahead and start on channel 30. And we will go up to channel 38. And once we add that, we can go and change the color if we want to. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a light blue, like a cyan color. And once we have that, then I can go ahead and press the X. And we can see here that now I have this band plan up here that's going to place my microphones in the empty available TV channels that are here. So it will be placing between channel 30, 32, and this little band gap that's here. So now that I've created the band plan, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to remove these 24 Axient that I have. And we're just going to go ahead and trash those. And I am going to add a new set of Axient. So I'm going to go to my Shure, I'm going to go to my 84QA and my G57 Plus. And then on more frequencies here. And then on my band plan, I'm going to select Axient. And then what I'm going to be able to do now is add those wireless frequencies into my coordination, but have them only being in this band plan that I created of this Axient spot. So I'm going to go and do a quantity of 24, and we can go ahead and press calculate. Now this will then go ahead and calculate all of the frequencies that I have available to me in these spots of these 24. So we can see that I now have 24 results that land in my Axient band plan for all of my wireless. And so because there's 24, I'm just going to press plus all. Now, if I wasn't so lucky and I wasn't able to fit all of the frequencies in that spot, then what I would do is I would go to my band plan and I would just adjust this down to the next section of my TV channels. So we can see that this TV channel of 29 starts at 560. So I will go ahead and drop up into here. And then on my start, I'm just going to select 560. And that will then expand that down, which then I can go ahead and maybe add some more frequencies. So maybe I wanted to have a couple backup frequencies. So I have all of my same stuff selected here, the Shure 84Q, G57 Plus, more frequencies on the Axient band plan. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and press calculate. And here are another 15 results that I can add in to my coordination. Now this is on top of all of the wireless that I already have coordinated here. So my PSM 1000s that were coordinated earlier are still in my coordination, as well as my 24 wireless that I just added. So maybe I need to only have, say, 6 frequencies. Well, I can go ahead and add them. So I can see that up here, this is in the 580, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I'm just going to go down and add 6 more. So I can then go plus 6. So now I have all of my wireless. So RF1, RF2. Now I have my entire coordination here all ready to go. So I have my in-ears, my 24 wireless, and some backup frequencies. Now, the great thing about SoundBase is I can collaborate with other individuals that are on my team. So I can go up and press share, and I can then go and share this with other individuals that I want to share this project with. So if I have an A2 or I have a monitor engineer or another person that's actually going to be deploying some of the wireless frequencies, I could then share and collaborate with that person, and they would also be able to add in frequencies to our coordination. Now, if I wasn't wanting them to have editing abilities, I could also just create a real-time site report. And to do that, I can go ahead and go up here, real-time site report, and then this will allow me to configure a report to share with my team. So one thing that I always love to do is where it says is deployed, I will go and press view and edit. So this gives the person with this link the ability to go in and edit is a frequency deployed or not. So that is very key. You can also drop in your contact info and even add a message. And once you do that, then you can press enable. And you can even pull up a QR code to then print out on a piece of paper and have that sitting somewhere. Or you can just go ahead and copy your link, email it out, or text it out to the other individuals on your team, and then they would be able to see this link in a browser. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Safari and drop in my link here. I'm going to verify that I'm not a robot. And here are all of my frequencies. So we can see that this is in my main zone, as well as the name, the frequency, the equipment that it's associated with, and then if I is deployed. So say I went ahead and went over to my PSM 1000s and deployed those frequencies, I could then go ahead and check these boxes. And then on my actual coordination, because this is all in the cloud, I would then see that these two frequencies are deployed. Now, if another person went ahead and deployed a few more frequencies, so maybe my first 4 RF, he went ahead and deployed, I can then go back into here, and then this will update once it syncs. As we can see now that those 4 are deployed. Now, say I have a general session room and a breakout room. Well, the breakout room frequencies I wouldn't have on the same frequencies that I have in my general session. But the frequencies that are being used in that breakout room are far enough away from my general session room where I wouldn't have to worry about interference from intermodulation. And that's because there's a very big distance between these two rooms, or say a solid wall or two in between the two rooms, that sort of thing. So what I can do is I can actually go and add a default, another zone to create a whole nother room. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this default group and I'm going to call this general session. And we're going to call this corporate. Now up in my zone, I can go ahead and rename this as general session. And we will go ahead and press save. Now, I'm going to now create another zone called breakouts. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the plus. I'm then going to call this breakouts. I will then have a new group that populates here. So I'm going to go ahead and call this breakouts as well. And we can go ahead and add in the wireless for this breakout. So I'm going to go and find my Shure, and this is actually some QLXD. And we have the G50 band, and we have 10 wireless. So I can go ahead and add in a range. So what this will do is this will actually scan, and then I can manually pick my frequencies, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to range and press calculate. Now it is going to go through and calculate a bunch of frequencies that work with each other. Now in this case, I am going to land these in this spot right here. So we can see that this spot starts at 518. So I'm going to go scroll down until I get to my 518 frequencies, and I'm going to select 10. Once I have those 10 selected, I can maybe add in 2 backup frequencies, and then I can go ahead and press plus selected, which will then add them into this group. So now I can go breakout 1, BO2, so we can now have our 10 wireless with our 2 backup frequencies here. Now, say I had another breakout room, but it was right next door to the first breakout room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retitle this Breakout Room 1. And I'm going to add one more breakout room. So what I'm going to do is just press this plus, and I'm going to add another group. So Breakout Room 2. Now, because these rooms are right next to each other, the wireless would interfere with each other because they are so close to each other. Whereas my breakout rooms are farther away from my general session. And so I'm going to coordinate my two breakout rooms in one zone and have these be in the breakout, but these are far enough away from my general session that intermodulation distortion is not going to be interfering with one another. So in this case, I'm going to add the rest of my wireless that I have. So I'm going to select my breakout room 2, and then I have a set of 8 frequencies. So I'm going to go ahead and press range and calculate, and I'm going to coordinate these in this section right here. So we have our first one at 526. So I'm going to go find 526, and I'm going to go ahead and select 8 plus 2 backup frequencies. And I can press plus selected. Now we can go ahead and call this BO201. So I went ahead and added my other 8 wireless that I have in this room. And so we can now have our 2 zones, so our general session and our breakouts, and all of these frequencies are here. Now, if we go back over to my Safari and I refresh this, we can see that because this is real time, the frequencies that I've added with these different zones have already populated in this list. So now I can say, hey guys, breakout rooms are ready to go deploy. And so then those people that are going to go deploy those frequencies can go and select that they've deployed these frequencies as they have listed them. So we can go ahead and put that all of these frequencies have been deployed. And then when I go back to my project, this will update and show that these frequencies have been deployed. And we can see that those are adding in here now. Now, once I'm actually in the room, have some wireless up and ready, I am going to do a scan either with a tiny SA using SoundBase Pro, or I'm going to go into Wireless Workbench and do a scan inside of my RF. So my Axient has the ability of scanning and saving that data. Now I can go ahead and import that data into my coordination here. So if I go to scan data, I can go ahead and upload a scan. So say I have my CSV file that I've recorded on my Axient, I can then go and apply that and import that into my project. Now, the main thing that I am looking for is, have any of the TV channels changed? So say I get there and all of a sudden channel 22 is a transmitting TV channel. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and press this and block out this TV channel from my coordination. Now, this will then show that I have all of these 10 wireless here that need to be recoordinated. Now, we can see that I have 10 incompatible, and I can go and look and see if my general session has anything, and no, it does not. It's just these 10 incompatible frequencies. So what I can do is I can do the dropdown, and I can say recalculate all incompatible. And what this will do is this will recalculate them and place them anywhere in the band that I have available in that profile. Now, say you are at your event and you have a last-minute ad that needs to happen. So say a national anthem singer comes with their own wireless that they have that they want to sing into, and not your corporate wireless that you've already deployed. Well, the great thing about SoundBase is it is an additive program. So it is an additive coordination style, meaning that it's not going to make you re-coordinate all the rest of your frequencies you have deployed. It's just going to give you a frequency on top of the frequencies that you already have set. So in this case, I'm just going to add in another wireless. So I'm going to go to my general session, and we're just going to add a group, and we are going to call this National Anthem. And so we can go and scroll down, find that, and select it. And then we are going to go and add his wireless, which is a Sennheiser EM6000, and it's in the A1 to A4 band. And I'm going to go and choose this as more frequencies, and I am going to go for a range. And scroll down and calculate. Now what's great is this is going to calculate all the frequencies that this wireless can go and be added into our coordination. And then what I can do is I can go and pick the least noisy spot in my coordination. So the higher the number here, so -106 is a better coordination spot than, say, a -97, because this is a negative number, so the lower that it goes, the better the noise floor is in that spot. So I'm going to go find one thing that's maybe in right here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 470, 950. Once I've selected that, I can just go ahead and press plus selected. And then that will add that down here. And then I can call this National Anthem Singer. And we have added that. And again, because this is a real-time site report, if I have my A2 go pull up the frequency list, they will see that if they drop down this little spot, that this is a Sennheiser EM6000 and it's to that frequency. Once they set it up, they can go ahead and press is deployed, and I am ready to go. Now, there are way more features that are in SoundBase that goes farther than what I've shown you today. We can calculate intermodulation products between zones. We can go and add in a frequency request form. So I'm going to be making some more videos on how to do that and add that into our coordination. But SoundBase is the program that I have completely gone over to for all of my coordinations. Any of my wireless coordination that I'm doing now, I am using SoundBase because I can get a full coordination on the plane before I even arrive to my venue based off of the scan data from other SoundBase users. I can then also create this real-time report, send that out to the rest of my team for coordination, and then I can even collaborate with other people. Now, if you want to find more out about SoundBase, then head over to their website at soundbase.app, where you can create a free account and do your full coordination for free without spending any money. And if you want to be able to do this offline, then you would want to sign up for their Pro version, for their SoundBase Pro. Now, I hope this video was helpful for you today, just kind of showing a little bit about my methodology for coordinating a wireless for a larger event and being able to do that all beforehand. If you do happen to have any questions, or if there's a video that you're hoping that I would make on RF coordination or SoundBase or any of production equipment that's out there, please post that comment down in the comment section down below. I'm always reading through those comments to find videos that are going to be helpful for you. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my website at drewbrashler.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day.